Laddering happens because as we move to work with the next group of stitches, we fold the fabric. If we keep the fabric flat, then we get no ladders at all. If you use double-pointed needles and you prefer to hold yarn in your right hand, then as you are about to work with the next group of stitches, push the needle so that the stitches are closer to the right tip of the needle and hold that needle in your left hand. Then take an empty needle and the yarn in your right hand and move the stitches, the needle with the previously worked stitches, the previous needle, so to say, so that it is parallel to the current needle that you hold in your left hand. And that will unfold the fabric and keep it flat. And press this needle with your left thumb at the bottom of the left needle. And then work your stitches, knit or purl them the usual way until you make 2 to 4 stitches. And all this time you keep pressing this needle, keep the fabric flat. So once you work 2 to 4 stitches, you release that needle and continue to work the stitches as you normally would, knowing that there is no ladder forming between these two groups of stitches. If you prefer to hold yarn in your left hand, then before you start to work these stitches, you take the yarn and the stitches, the needle with the stitches in your left hand and the empty needle in your right hand, and do the same thing. Move the previously worked needle to the bottom of the current left needle and press it with your left thumb as you work the first few stitches. Because it's too much work for the left needle, you might find it easier to hold the needle, the previously worked needle, with your right thumb. So try it both ways and see which one works better for you. And once you work 2 to 4 stitches, then release, let go of this needle and finish working with this group of stitches. Again, no ladders. If you use 2 circulars or 1 long circular needle in the magic loop method, then first rearrange the needle so that you are ready to work on the next group of stitches. And then if you prefer to hold yarn in your right hand, then you hold the needle with the stitches in your left hand and the empty needle and the yarn in your right hand. And then unfold this fabric over here, and to help it stay flat, hold the cable of the needle that comes at the left side of the previous group of stitches with your left thumb, like this. So this will keep the fabric flat over here, right where the ladders could potentially happen. And as you do that, then work the stitches one by one, knit them or purl them, depending on the stitch pattern that you follow. And do it for 2 to 4 stitches while holding this cable all the time. Don't let it go until you make 2 to 4 stitches, and then you just let it go and continue to work as usual. If you prefer to hold yarn in your left hand, then first you take the yarn in your working position and then hold the needle with the stitches in your left hand as usual. Then again unfold this piece of fabric over here so that the fabric is flat in the place where the stitches meet, the groups of stitches meet, and then hold the cable just as we held the previous needle, so to say, when we worked with the double pointed needles. Hold it with your left thumb and work on the stitches as usual. Again, if you feel that that's too much work for your left hand, feel free to hold this cable with the right thumb instead of the left thumb. It also helps to hold the whole previous group of stitches on the cable with your right hand, so that will definitely keep the fabric flat. So try both methods and see which one works for you better. And no matter which method you choose, you will see that from now on there will be no ladders in any of your projects.